right, so we're back working on our raised panel fireplace surround and office or solarium today. Last time you saw, we got both of the raised panel side pieces installed and everything's been connected to the big raised panel around the front. So all that is pretty well done. We still have to do the final attachment on everything, put a few more screws in it, but it's pretty well done. Today, we're going to go ahead and get started on our corner pieces that wrap around the corner to our office, and then we'll set some office cabinets. We're also going to build a countertop out of some reclaimed wood. We're also going to, after we get the countertop done, then we've got to set tower cabinets on top of that, and it's got a big shelving unit that sits in between us for glass shelves, and there's a nice detail that goes across the top of that, and we'll install some lighting in the top of that. So quite a bit of work to do on this side of the fireplace. Let me show you exactly what we're talking about, and we're gonna get started getting some of this work done. So this is where we left off last time. We got the mantle installed, and we've got our side panels attached to the front panel. And today we're working back here behind it on the pool side of things. This room has become a storage room for tools and supplies and everything. Just trying to keep everything out of the way of the projects around the rest of the house. But we're looking forward to getting all that stuff out of there as soon as we get our garage finished out. So this is the back side. And so you see a bunch of wiring here. We've got data cable coming in. We've got HDMI cables that go to the other side there. We've got electric for outlets down in the bottom of the cabinet there and up at desk level. And then we've got electric coming in at the top there. That's for our down lighting, our puck lights that will light up our shelving area. So we've got all kinds of wiring penetrations we're gonna have to deal with here. And we've got to wrap our paneling around the edge here to finish it. So what we're doing is using some 1x8 poplar boards. And those will get attached to the paneling on the side here. And that'll finish the edge. And then the cabinet will actually overlap this board just a little bit, which is going to give it a really nice finished edge once we install the raised panel details on the side of our cabinets as well. So the first step here is to figure out where all the wiring needs to be and route it through the studs, drill any studs and pull wires through if we need to. And then we're going to install a piece of 3/4 ply, which is leaning right over there. And that plywood is going to be the foundation for our cabinetry. And that's also going to bring us out even with our 1x. So that will be even with this. So everything will sit even and flush across the back. So we got to get our plywood up. In order to install the plywood though, we've got a cutout for all these boxes. And then any wiring like data cables or anything else that need to be pulled through, we got to drill and pull those through. So we got a little bit of work to do before we can put that plywood up. But we're going to go ahead and get it marked out, figure out where all our holes, penetrations need to go for boxes and everything, get those cut, and then we'll stand the plywood up in here. Then we got to make sure it's perfectly plumb so that all of our cabinetry and everything sits in here just perfectly. So it's going to take a little work to get to the point where we're ready to screw it in place, but shouldn't take us too long to get all that knocked out. Outside, you can see some exciting stuff going on. Looking through the sliders there, you can see the beginnings of a fireplace. So the masons were here this week and they started building our outdoor fireplace. As soon as the outdoor fireplace is complete, then our guys can come back and frame up for our back porch. So lots of stuff going on the back, on the outside here. And if you look at the shelving over there, you can see the pool house construction going on too. So lots of exciting stuff happening outside. Huh, babe? Mm-hmm. You excited with the progress so far?
Yes.
If the weather would cooperate, we'd get a lot more done, wouldn't we?
I want it done. We've got 2 weeks till my goal.
No pressure. So,
Better let the contractor know that.
yeah, you'll probably have to inform him. Are you ready to get started on this stuff?
Yes.
All right, well, let's get it knocked out. So I'm down here on the floor working on the outlet. This is the one that's going to go inside the 36-inch cabinet. We're going to have our TV components, Blu-ray, cable box, that sort of thing, hidden inside this cabinet. So we needed to have an outlet here. So we've got a double gang box, but it was actually a little low. It was sitting down about here. And what the issue was, it was going to interfere with the shelf It's going to be right smack dab in the middle of the shelf that we have in there. And then we've got a sliding, like a slide out shelf that's got to come out with the components and that sort of thing on it. And so we want to make sure the outlet box was in the right place. So no better time to move it than right now. So I had to cut the insulation out and then knock these nails loose that hold the box and then slide the whole thing up and get it nailed back in place. So that's what I'm working on right now. Hopefully get some more of this stuff kind of reorganized and we'll be ready to get that plywood in place once we get the penetrations cut in there. All right, so we finally got everything figured out on our boxes. We put everything together with these little junction clips. These things are pretty handy for testing wiring. And then we were testing everything out and we found this outlet that the outlet tester is plugged into wasn't working. And we thought, well, that's weird. Why is it not working? And then found that it was not wired into all the other wire here. It actually, the wire went out of it and out the back and then down over here and out into the crawl space. So we all scratched our heads, didn't we? And tried to figure out where it went. So we had to go down in the crawl space, follow the wire. It actually goes into a junction box under the house and then actually goes over here to the family or the living room to the mantle. So that wire sticking out right there above the fireplace, that's actually the one that gets the feed off of this. So we had to jumper the two outlets together and then that feeds the outlet.
I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, so anyways, we got, hey Dad, Dad's here. We got it all fixed and everything's working. So now we can go ahead and pick up where we left off and begin to attach our side panels. And then we can get our plywood cut to fit around all these outlets and finally get it up. We might get some cabinets up today. What do you think?
So we were supposed to be done by now.
I know. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Okay, well, let's go ahead and attach our side panels and we'll work on the plywood after that. What do you think?
Yeah. All right, so we're taking some measurements and transferring those to the piece of plywood so Chris can cut out for our outlets. And then we're going to get this piece of plywood put up. And then we're ready to install our cabinets.
Got some shims cut.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Right here you can see the shims. We need to shim out because, of course, the 2x4s are not straight. Have to get some there and there. So, it's been a long process, huh?
It has. You know, just throw up a piece of plywood, put the cabinets up.
That's what we thought.
Couple hours.
If it had been a blank wall, it wouldn't have been so bad.
I know. I should have just had them drywall it.
That would have been easier ultimately, but then we wouldn't have been able to figure out the wiring.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Been like that guy in the commercial looking for the money in the house. He just started
Start ripping it apart.
knocking holes in.
Yep.
15 1/4. All right, so we got our plywood piece in position. All the outlets are poking through and all the wires run. Everything's in good shape. So we're ready to start setting cabinets. So Dad and I had to rip down some shim stock out of 2x4s on the table saw and do some creative spacing to get everything to line up. So we're taking the framing square that I'm standing on and squaring up this side with this panel, just to make sure that everything is perfect. And when our cabinets go into place, you'll see here in shortly that they'll cover the edge of this poplar panel. It'll get centered up on this wall, cover the edge of that poplar panel, and then the countertop will go on top of that. And then we've got a big upper unit that we're going to build out of 2 tower cabinets and then a shelving unit. That's what's in this big box here. And so that'll cover up the rest of this. You're not going to see any of it. And I strove for perfection with the cutting out the outlet boxes, but something happened with the calculations and they were off a little bit.
I mean, you did quadruple check your measurements.
Checked, rechecked. I don't know. I think the stud that I used to measure off of was crooked or something, because measurements ended up being about a 1/4 to 1/2 inch off. So we had to chop the Hole's a little bigger to get it to fit. And, yeah, it sucks. But nobody's going to see it. And it'll be fine, but still ticks you off. So we got this panel in and got it up with some countersunk construction screws, you can see. So it'll be nice and strong. And we've got plenty of blocking in the wall to hold all of our cabinets anyways. So it's not like we're relying on this for structure. But it definitely stiffened up the wall and it gave us a nice even space to mount our cabinets. So we've got our big 36-inch base over here. And the other base cabinets are over here. We got to unbox them. And we'll get them assembled into one unit. Once we've done that, then we can go ahead and get everything centered up on the wall and get these two holes cut out down here so that we'll be able to access those outlets and everything inside the cabinet and all the wiring. And then get those slid into place. Should be ready to go ahead and get them screwed up here in just a little bit. Screwed up. That doesn't sound good, does it? And by screwed up, I mean screwed up to the wall, not screwed up like we messed something up.
Screwed to the wall.
Screwed to the wall. Yeah, there you go. All right, so we got the hole in the cabinet marked out there, so we're getting ready to cut through the back of the cabinet. That way we can get access to the outlets on the inside there, and then we've got our data cables and HDMIs and all that stuff. Got a hole marked there for that. We'll pull that through. Hopefully everything will line up just perfectly. We've figured out the center point of our cabinet and the center part of our wall and measured off of that. So in theory, everything should line up just fine. But sometimes theory and principle and practice don't always prove to be the same. But at any rate, we're going to give it a shot here, see what happens. And hopefully everything will line up. Then we'll go ahead and get our cabinets mounted together and then slide the whole unit up against the wall there. See what everything looks like. Excited, babe? You look tired. It's only 9:30 p.m. I know what your problem is.
It's really that late. It's 9:30.
Yeah. All right, let's cut a hole.
Makes quick work of it. Woohoo! Good job.
Thanks. Okay, we got all the cabinets unboxed and sitting in position. They look glorious. You can see how the edge of the cabinet is going to cover up the edge of the poplar. So once we get these all positioned, and of course they need leveled up and screwed to the wall, but once we get them all positioned and everything, that'll be a nice smooth seam all the way down through there. And then again with our shelf unit in place and the tower cabinets, it's going to look fantastic. What you think, hon? So we're going to go ahead and put these together through the face, just like we did all our other cabinets. And then we'll get them all shimmed up against the wall here, because we know this wall's good and plumb, because we shimmed it out just so. And we should be able to go ahead and get those attached. All right, so what do you think, hon? We got the cabinets up. You like them?
I do.
It's good, because we can't take them back. They're like 2 years old.
I know. They've been sitting in boxes.
We've been busy. Yeah, they look really good, I think.
Yeah, we really lucked out because, you know, none of them smashed or any big.
Yeah, none of them are broken.
Yeah.
So we got them all screwed together through the face, and then everything plumb and leveled, and got them all shimmed up and screwed in place. And they're not going anywhere. They look great. Look great. So next step is actually to build our countertop.
Yes.
And we're hoping to use some redwood boards that are left over from the original porch.
Yes. Budget is tight right now.
Budget's tight, and it'll be a neat piece of history.
Yeah, I hated
Hey, where'd you get your countertop? Well,
I hated to do more cords. We've got so much of that, so.
Yeah, so this will be something cool. We built it out of the original back porch boards, redwood.
So pray it works.
Yeah, hopefully have enough that's not like rotted and full of nails. And
We'll see.
my dad came over today, brought his 6-inch planer joiner. So we're going to be able to get them all squared up, plane off the old paint, get the edges all square and ready to join together.
Yeah, they've been outside, so we're going to let them.
Bring them in, let them acclimate, dry out, get that humidity down, and then we'll get them glued up and sanded down, put on a nice dark finish. Should be beautiful.
Then once that's in, then we can put all the upper cabinets because they sit on the countertop.
Yep, we'll get our countertop mounted and then build the tower.
Yeah,
It'll look sweet.
it's only 5 more cabinets.
No biggie. We got this.
Actually, it'll go pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well, let's wrap this up for tonight. What do you think? It's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's late.
All right. So we'll be back as soon as we get more stuff to talk about. See you guys soon.